Greetings, I'm Caffeine Rage, and welcome back to the Sunday Sampler. This week we're taking a look at Neptune Flux, an underwater adventure game by Zoxide Games. A one-man development team, and this time it really shows. So I would say let's take a look at the options, but there is no options menu in this game, so let's just go ahead and dive into my save game and really start picking this game apart. As I wait for the loading screen, there we go. Okay, this is, like I said, an underwater adventure game, and you can see that, not exactly a lot of visibility in this game. And I might add that I've played this for just under an hour, and let's go ahead and actually pop back over here, and I'll show you the upgrades. I have the sonar refit, which is pretty much a requirement to be able to do a couple of the missions, which I haven't actually finished yet. And laser diodes, which is essentially an upgrade to the lighting system to make it so that I could see a little bit further. But even then, that is not a long distance to see it. It reminds me of an N64 game, with the fog just obscuring things very closely. And speaking of very closely, let's take a close-up look at some of the textures in this game. I'm not a visual guy. A game could be an ASCII game, but I could still enjoy it. But one thing I noticed is that there are some rather blurry and gnarly textures in this game, and I'm not sure if it's just it being a one-man development team or what. You could see how blocky and a little bit blurry things are. It's like everything is blown up, which it might be. I actually don't know, because there is absolutely no options menu in this game. There's no controls listed in this game. It is all figure it out on your own. They tell you to go do something, pat you on the head, and send you on your way, which is really infuriating. And there's not even a fucking map in this game. Best you get is the markers on the compass that you could see as I rotate around. So let's see, there's the pirate ship over there. And it doesn't even tell you how to turn on and off the sonar, which... Actually, let me leave this area. You can see this giant bubble. If I leave the area, it puts me on battery power. I left the wave grid and subsisting on battery power. There we go. Now, without the sonar upgrade, the battery power doesn't really matter all that much, but without the sonar upgrade, you have a minute at best with that battery. And they call this an open world game, but honestly, they punish you severely for not being in or near one of the set pieces. So I would say that this is more of, just a connective area. So here's the sonar. Thankfully, I have the upgrade to this, so I'm able to just run with the sonar on and not have to worry about it. So let's just go ahead and collect some trash. Oh, I think I just talked to
Neptune 1 to Aqua Base. I think I've got something here.
Belay that, Neptune 1. We've just received word that the surface has re-established a signal to the container. Please return to base immediately.
Okay. You heard a little bit of the voice acting there.
I'll take it. What the? Are you reading this command?
That'll be all, Sarah. Return to base now.
Yeah, the voice acting, it's passable, but honestly, this is the most I've heard emotion-wise from this character. Most of the time, she sounds more like she's reading off items off her grocery list than actually trying to convey emotion. Which, if she was trying to, sound bored, well, she did a damn good job. Well, let's just go ahead and pull back to base. I'll turn off sonar so it's not pinging away. And there's the battery recharged.
You're back. If you dock with base, you'll find some new upgrades for your dive pod. The wireless aquatic voltage emitter grid could use an upgrade too. As you know, the wave grid is what powers our ships, so the further you expand it, the further we can explore.
Please tell me this is one of your attempts at humor, because it sounds like you're suggesting that I use my own cash for all that. Maybe I'll just start cutting up the base and selling the scrap back to you.
I knew you'd be a good sport. Funds from our investors are strained as ever, but your standard recovery contract still stands. This new arrangement is only a temporary measure. It's all for Aqua's mission, a brighter future.
Sure.
Hello? Sarah?
Well, honestly, I don't have a lot to spend money on anyway because I've gotten these two, so that's the big investment. So we'll grab some. Oh, I can only grab one, it seems. And I don't really need anything there, so yeah, like I said, it's not a bad looking game, but I just wish that it was a little bit prettier. But that might be just the fact that they're focusing a lot on the VR. I'm playing this out of VR mode, of course, even though you can kind of see the edges of what a VR headset would see at the corners of the screen. But this has VR support for both Vive and Rift, so maybe the fact that they skimped out a little bit on textures is just to keep the frame rate nice and steady for VR, which is a very real possibility. And it's probably also a good reason why there's no real menus in the game outside of the little heads-up display at the bottom. We'll just see, that's the ship. Like I said, we'll head to a set piece, and we'll do a little bit there, and that's actually about it, really, because there's not a lot to talk about on this. It is an adventure game, like I said, and there's a bit of a I want to call it a supernatural element because of this fifth element here, this fifth icon. Avert your eyes if you have your brightness turned up. Yeah. Essentially what that is it's allows you to do something with the set pieces. It hasn't exactly been explained yet, and we'll see. Well, you'll see what I mean when we get to this, because we're heading to one of the colony ships that was crashed, and it seems like everything is in this one little area. Like I said, for an open world game, this is a very small map, and the fact that you can't even see the map, it kind of masks the fact that the world is that small, at least in the beginning. Who knows? This could expand greatly, but I would be actually very surprised if it did. Now see, it's blinking, telling me that there's something going on. Oh. Little bit of a tight fit. And you can see how low res some of the textures are. And how kind of basic the modeling is in general. So I imagine this is going to allow me to pass. Yep. Like I said, this... Oh.
I'm sorry. The power generator is off limits to those below a level 6 clearance. I'm sorry. The power generator is off limits to those...
Hell yeah.
Okay, so that allowed me to get past that, which makes me think there's some sort of like time travel or something going on. I don't know. It's very...
That should be enough to power the doors to the cryo chamber.
Where are you leading me?
Your mother asked me the same question.
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's very, very early in the story, so... and I don't want to go too far, just...
Lead her.
Just because, I don't want to ruin the story. And it seems like the game is going to be damn short. I don't have an exact number on the game length. So I'm kind of spitballing it on that. Who knows? It could expand out, and I could be completely wrong. But you can see how, what I meant, that she doesn't seem to have a lot of emotion. Well, this is a thing.
She's not here, is she?
Neither were the colonists, Sarah. There never were any colonists. This ship was meant to house something greater. They thought they could keep it contained inside the power generator.
Okay.
These are the cryo chambers. The chambers will keep human occupants in stasis for the duration of our mission, here on the Leviathan. These are the cryo...
Sounds like that opened a door somewhere.
Okay, so that was a thing. Kind of mislike, to be perfectly honest, in this. But you can see just, not very pretty, but then again, maybe that's the whole point, and that it's just... Oh, come on. Get in there. There we go. That they're trying to keep frame rates up. But on my system, it's holding up rock solid 60, but then again, my video card's actually pretty good these days. Okay, so that opened up a door somewhere. We'll try going back through here. Aha! Oh, that was a thing. Go down. Yeah, it's intriguing, but the thing is that it feels very modeled. Just...
What do we have here?
They tried to use the artifact to reverse time. Without understanding its power, they thought they could undo the present and restore the world to the way it was. When they failed, I was the easiest way to hide their mistakes.
Which means I was wrong about you.
Sorry about that.
I appreciate that, Sarah. You are your mother's daughter.
What? Is she really here?
She was.
Adam, do you know where she went?
I am the autonomous tour manager, but you may call me Adam. I am here to serve.
Daisy.
Adam?
Sarah, listen to me. It's too dangerous. Please, Sarah.
I must be hearing things. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I think we're already set to wrap things up, to be perfectly honest. Did a little bit of exploration, showing you how things go. And that kind of confirms what I was thinking, that this is some sort of time travel narrative. Which I do have to admit that I am a bit of a sucker for a good time travel story, but so far it's been kind of just a MacGuffin, and they haven't really expanded upon it just yet. The fact that there's absolutely no map makes the navigating the open world a little treacherous, especially if you're in the very beginning and you're running the sonar and you don't know that running the sonar completely drains your battery. Let's see. Yeah, return to Aqua Base. So that'll complete us another mission. Yeah. And the fact that the battery just seems to be, really a punishment device just to keep you near the set pieces and not exploring the, honestly, rather empty open world. It's a little bit disappointing to me. I guess I just was going to this expecting more. Especially for the price tag. This is a $20 game.
Aqua Base to Neptune 1. Anything to report, Sarah?
Yeah, I found the wreckage site of the Leviathan.
Well, this is a day for the books. Here's a bonus for your discovery. We're still detecting energy surges, though, so continue your sweep. There's also something else. May I speak candidly?
Hit me with your best shot.
Sarah, I'm sorry I was so relentless when Alex went missing. It was a serious operation, but I should have been more human. The circumstances were...
Please, I'm here to build the future. And I need the money. Actually, right now, the money is the best thing for me to focus on. So if you don't mind.
Fair enough. I look forward to your next report.
Okay, well, that was convincing. And no new... What, was there a new upgrade there? No, there wasn't. So yeah, let's go ahead and just wrap things up here. I feel kind of bad just raking this game over the coals because I do think that this would be interesting for people that are interested in undersea life and are looking for a bit of a different adventure game, because this is different. But it just feels like it's lacking a lot of quality of life features that it shouldn't. You know, the fact that it doesn't have a map, it doesn't have the an options menu at all. The fact that the graphics look a little muddy, if you pardon the looking at mud. But well, you can see right there how oh shoot, now I'm blanking on what those are. But the creatures right there, you can see how the circle isn't quite a circle. It's more of an octagon or a hexagon. That's what I mean, that everything feels a little too low poly, and the textures look a little blurry and not quite there. And the fact that the visual range is just so short, but then again, that also fits with the theme. So,
awesome.
Maybe that's the thing. You know, I'm picking on this game for doing what it should. Okay, so right here is the pirate ship. And see what I mean by, the battery doesn't seem to matter if you just go from set piece to set piece, because all the set pieces have their own energy field no matter what. So yeah, I think that about wraps things up. I do think that this is probably one of the better VR games out there, but then again, VR games, they tend to be, at least at the time of recording, because I know this will change in the future, either just gimmicky little games or extra modes to existing games, and I think this would be a decent VR game. Granted, I don't have a VR headset to test that. That's the one problem with that statement, though. But yeah, I think that's about it. So as always, feedback is appreciated, especially the Sunday Sampler, just because, the Sunday Sampler is rather sporadic in what it covers. So let me know what you think, and if I get a lot of feedback on covering particular types of games, I will try to focus on those. But these games depend on, or these videos depend on just what I get review copies for, which this is a review copy of a game that's not quite out yet. This is being recorded a few days before release. And well, if you want to see more of the Sunday Sampler, my Let's Play content, the podcast that comes out on Fridays, subscribe, because that does help, and getting those subscriber numbers up does help me get better content for the Sunday Sampler, because developers will see that I'm a larger channel and will give me better games, at least in theory. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll be sampling something next time, but until then, I'll see you in the great blue yonder.